breaking news on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, there is tension in few parts of Maharashtra, I beg your pardon, particularly Kolhapur. And this is not the first incident of a communal flare-up that we have seen in the state. Who is fanning? Is there a conspiracy behind these flare-ups? Are there political designs behind this? We'll get to the bottom of that on breaking news. Let me first very quickly give you the context of why we are talking about this and what has happened in Kolhapur. Tensions in Maharashtra's Kolhapur over a social media post on Aurangzeb and Tipu Sultan. So some, three youngsters, they had put some media post and made their profile as Aurangzeb and in praise of Tipu Sultan. Now, many were, very angry about it. Some Hindu outfits then decided to stage a massive protest in Kolhapur over the controversial social media post. The outfits called for a shutdown. They alleged that the post were intended to glorify the two Muslim rulers. The protest turned violent, and then the protesters ransacked some shops, some vehicles at Kolhapur's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Chowk, demanding action against those men. The police then had to lathi charge the Hindu outfits to disperse the protesters. There were reports of clashes between two groups from other parts in the town as well. Now, Section 144 has been imposed in the affected areas till June 19th to bring the situation under control. Case has also been registered against those who posted about Tipu Sultan and Aurangzeb on social media. But the question, ladies and gentlemen, is we are in 2023. Why should what happened in our history become a flare-up point or a point of tussle now after hundreds of years? This is not the first incident. In past, few months, there have been 7 to 8 communal incidents of unrest in different parts of Maharashtra. Same themes you would see in those incidents. Sometimes it's a procession, a temple or a mosque or a social media post. It's like, if you see a pattern, you will know that it is a combination of one or more of these factors which have sparked tensions between two communities, which is worrying. Now, what has the government of Maharashtra said on this, and what is the opposition in fact saying on this precarious situation in the state of Maharashtra? First, let's listen in to what the Chief Minister, the Deputy Chief Minister and one of the top faces of the opposition, Mr. Pawar, has to say on this issue.
कौन जानबूझकर महाराष्ट्र में कानून व्यवस्था खराब हो और महाराष्ट्र का नाम खराब हो, ये करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, ये भी हम ढूंढ के निकालेंगे। लेकिन मेरा इतना ही निवेदन है, परिस्थिति पूरी नियंत्रण में है, कहीं पर भी अभी अनियंत्रित इस प्रकार की व्यवस्था नहीं है, अव्यवस्था भी नहीं है। लेकिन मेरे सबसे निवेदन है, कोई भी कानून को हाथ में न ले, कानून को हाथ में लिया तो उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई की जाए।
पर्सनली अधिकारियों के साथ संपर्क में हूँ और कानून व्यवस्था बनाए रखने के लिए सभी लोगों ने सहयोग करने की आवश्यकता है, ऐसा आह्वान भी मैं करता हूँ। और राज्य में सभी लोग शांति से रहे, या राज्य में शांति रहे, अमन रहे, इसके लिए सभी लोगों ने सहयोग करने की आवश्यकता है।
तो कुणीतरी ह्याच्यावर मोबाईलवर काहीतरी मेसेज पाठवला. आता मेसेज पाठवला चुकीचं आहे असे नाही, असं नाही, पण त्याच्यासाठी लगेच रस्त्यावर उतरून त्याला एक धार्मिक स्वरूप देणं हे काही योग्य नाही. हा सत्ताधारी पक्ष जो आहे तो अशा सगळ्या गोष्टीला प्रोत्साहित करतो. राज्यकर्त्यांची जबाबदारी राज्यामध्ये शांतता आणि सुव्यवस्था प्रस्थापित करायची, पण राज्यकर्ते जर उचलायला लागले, त्यांचे सरकारी उचलायला लागले आणि त्याच्यातून दोन समाजामध्ये जातीमध्ये कटुता निर्माण व्हायला लागली, तर हे काही चांगलं लक्षण नाही आहे.
As I said, this is not the first incident which the government of Maharashtra and people in general should be worried about. Take a look at few other things that had happened just, in fact, in the last few months. On June 7th in Kolhapur, like today, the violence took place over a social media post. Now, let's go back to 13th May. In Akola, violence over another social media post about religious leaders that also took a violent turn. 24th March 2023, Aurangabad, unrest after a youth objected to Aurangabad's change of name. The government has been, ladies and gentlemen, on a spree of changing names in the state of Maharashtra. This was in fact a status or a message which was kept on WhatsApp by this youth, and this created a huge issue. These are just few examples. So is there a design behind what is happening as far as Maharashtra is concerned? Are we sitting on a tinderbox that could actually on the ground flare up in an uncontrollable situation, which we have to be very, very careful about? Let's very quickly throw this open to our guests, those who are joining us this evening on the broadcast. Let me welcome Mr. Asif Bamla, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Krishna Hegre, deputy leader and spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, is also with us. Sanjay Jha, political analyst, and Sanjay Gupta, leader of Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray group, is also with us. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to us and joining us on the broadcast. I want to start by asking you, in fact, Mr. Bamla, you know, this is the same kind of allegation that the BJP used to make when the Uddhav Thackeray government was in power, that they are unable to control, there are free hand which has been given to certain elements. Now, if similar kind of incidents are taking place when you have the law and order under your control, should this be taken as incompetency of the government, that they have not been able to control such incidents which have taken place in the last few months, sir?
You see, this is Chhatrapati's Maharashtra, if you know, and anything or any act against the Chhatrapati will certainly not be tolerated. And this government is certainly not of the opinion to tolerate or allow a propaganda, or jise kehte hain na, Mahima Mandal of an Aurangzeb or a Tipu Sultan. And I think, wherever a situation has happened, we have a very competent Home Minister like Devendra Fadnavis ji, who has taken stock of the situation. And of course, the situation was bad, was avid, and now it is under full control. That is one aspect of it. Now, there is certainly a craft, there is certainly a political design, a pattern that has been curated to derail the government, because क्या हो गया है कि जो भी सरकार मौजूदा है वो जब से आई है, it is done and it is involved in a lot of progressive work. There's development process that's happening. If you see, there's concretization of road, there is the administration, the government, the leaders.
But Bamla sir, may I ask you a question, sir?
Chief Minister,
like what you are saying, that this government will not allow Mahima Mandan, that is the word that you used. So does that mean that the government now has given a free hand to religious outfits to try and go and decide who is doing what Mahima Mandan and take action against them? Or is that, even if it is against any section of the IPC or against the procedure in the code or criminal code, isn't the police supposed to take a look into it? Or will there be outfits which will be given have been outsourced this power by the government of the day?
I'm sure you know about how this whole incident is flared up by putting up posts on social media. So certainly this is being propagated. There is a mindset that's happening to disturb the sanity, the work, the progress which this government in power is doing. There is some agenda by, I can't directly pick on the opponents. I can't take upon the opposition, like Honorable Devendra Fadnavis ji very clearly.
But will the reaction be violent, sir?
We are going to investigate. It's not the end of it, and there is a very proper system in order. Devendra ji is not a first time. He has been a chief minister for 5 years. He served the state, and we have a competent chief minister. Also,
you made your point. You saying that are extremely competent ministers, those who are taking care of this. But the fact remains, sir. The fact remains, even if it is an objectionable social media post, which let's say is against the IPC or any law, you can't outsource enforcement or, this kind of protest which goes violent. The first job of the government is to ensure there is no violence, no matter what happens. You could have taken action in that regard. But Sanjay Gupta,
Action has
is
been
there,
taken,
is there,
and you
sir,
will
sir,
see
hold
it
on, sir, hold on.
also.
Sanjay Gupta, is there now competitive, Hinduism that we are seeing, and that is why the situation on the ground is at this moment, sitting on a tinderbox? Because while there is another faction of the Shiv Sena which says they will not tolerate this, and we have known in past also how Shiv Sena has dealt with such issues. Is there competition now going on which is flaring up such communal tensions?
देखिए, जिस तरह से अभी ये पोस्टर लहरा है, ठीक इसी तरह से जब उद्धव जी की सरकार थी तो गेटवे ऑफ इंडिया पर एक फ्री कश्मीर का पोस्टर लहरा था। तब बीजेपी ने मुख्यमंत्री साहब का इस्तीफा मांग लिया था। अभी ये कह रहे हैं कि हम जांच करेंगे। आज औरंगजेब की जिस तरह से पोस्टर छपे, जिस तरह से पोस्टर लहरे हैं, और फिर उसके बाद जिस तरह से देवेंद्र फडणवीस साहब ने कहा कि हम औरंगजेब की औलादों को सबक सिखाएंगे, तो मतलब सबक कैसे सिखाएंगे, कब सिखाएंगे? जो ये लोग पोस्टर लहरा रहे हैं, ये वो पड़ोसी देश के घुसपैठिए मुसलमान हैं जिनको बाहर करने के लिए सीए ला गया था, पास किया गया था। अब इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कराने के लिए क्या अदालतों का सहारा लेना पड़ेगा या ऊपर से कोई आएगा? मतलब उसको पास करके रखा हुआ है, क्यों नहीं इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कराते आप? क्यों नहीं इस देश से वो जो घुसपैठी है?
सर, ये जानकारी तो अभी सरकार को भी नहीं है कि ये घुसपैठी हैं जिन्होंने पोस्टर लहराए। नहीं, आपने कैसे इस बात पे अभी तस्दीक कर दी कि घुसपैठी आ गए?
सर, इस देश के मुसलमान इस तरह का काम नहीं करते। ये वही घुसपैठी हैं जो पाकिस्तान के, अफगानिस्तान के और बांग्लादेश के मुसलमान हैं, जो करोड़ों की संख्या में हमारे देश के अंदर है।
संजय झा,
करने के लिए ही तो हमने,
संजय झा, do you see this as some part of a political design, or do you see this as, because we've seen some sort of these kind of similar kind of trends when we saw the elections in Karnataka, similar kind of voices coming out when the elections in Karnataka were taking place. Thankfully, the people gave a befitting answer when they voted in Karnataka. Do you see a similar pattern here?
Ankit, first and foremost, it's great to be on your program again. And I'm glad you're doing a show on a very sensitive subject. Let me tell you, Aurangzeb died, if my history knowledge is still correct, in 1707. There is a reason why the BJP is keeping him alive. The reason why they're doing that is because they are brazenly communal, and let me use strong words here, blatantly shamelessness. This is all that you're seeing here is a blatant shamelessness that is manifesting itself. They don't learn. People of Karnataka rejected the attempt of Mr. Modi to do this Bajrang Bali. They rejected Mr. Modi. But the BJP actually has no other political philosophy. If you really study the BJP's political rise, it's only based on communal hate and religious violence. And my one last point. Think about it, Ankit. We'll come back on the program. Hopefully you'll come back to me. Look at the state of Manipur today. If Manipur was in central or western or southern India, it would be on the national headline.
Right.
Look at the state of Manipur today. You have a woman, a mother dead in a burned jeep, over 100 dead. What is this government doing?
It's a very shameful situation, to say the least, in Manipur. But Sanjay, like you are saying, the rise of the BJP, BJP can argue the Congress is flirting with this whole Hindutva agenda themselves. Look what is happening in Madhya Pradesh. There is a Bajrang Sena which has now come completely in the fold as far as the Congress party is concerned. In Chhattisgarh, there is a Ramayana circuit going on. The Congress possibly is trying to do the same when it comes to the kind of allegations that you are making on the Bharatiya Janata Party. Is there political compulsion as far as these attempts are concerned?
Ankit, I'll quickly try and answer this question, but let me make a public confession here. I'm in politics and I'm very intricately involved, but I hadn't heard much of the Bajrang Sena in Madhya Pradesh, at least in terms of their impact, till I read about them today in the detailed report. And I haven't spoken to anybody in like Mr. Kamalnath, etc. I read that entire report, and I think the Congress needs to be extremely circumspect here. I know the Bajrang Sena has said that we oppose the BJP for their corruption, we oppose it because they are actually dividing the society on the basis of caste, etc., etc. But end of day, I think when you are getting into bed with people who have a history of being naturally militant,
Right.
you got to realize that short-term political compulsions should not result in ideological compromises.
Krishna Hegde, let me bring you in, sir. You are in the power with the BJP. You have the Chief Minister, from the Shiv Sena. Tell me, sir, the same question that I asked at this moment. I don't see much of a difference in the voices that are coming in. What Sanjay is saying, that it is deliberate attempt for the government, for the Bharatiya Janata Party and for your party to keep the ghost of Aurangzeb or Tipu Sultan alive. It is politically beneficial. Is that the reason why? Otherwise, what is the reason that your government, while you say has a very strong chief minister and a very strong deputy chief minister, in the last few months, more than 7 to 8 incidents have happened of such communal nature and you have not been able to control them?
Ankit, I'm aghast that Sanjay Jha said that, Aurangzeb died in 1707. That does not take away the cruelty that he has done upon the people of Hindustan. He destroyed thousands of temples. Not only that, he had done atrocities against Hindus. Not only that, he has even killed his own brother and imprisoned his own father and made him rot in jail. And these are the people who are now showing his photos. And that too on which days? On the day of Ram Navami, which is the birth date of Lord Ram, the biggest Hindu God whom all of us worship all over the world. The second, they have done it on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Rajabhishek, 300-year Rajabhishek, which is another auspicious and great day for Maharashtrians in India. And they are choosing these particular days, and you yourself have given 6 examples on the days these have happened. And this is a design and this is a pattern which is being followed, that whichever big Hindu day is there, a big day for India, you create a commotion and create a nuisance. And
sir, if I can see the pattern and if you can see the dates, then should we say that the government is blind to these dates and to these designs?
No,
even if there is a communal design to it, then is the government sleeping?
No, believe me, the government has taken action, swift action, and 3 people who arrested are from MIM party. So where does it stem from? Where does it come from?
No, so the people those who have been arrested for the posts are from the MIM party, but what about people those who indulge in violence? If the government would have made an example of those people, possibly this violence could not have taken place again.
See, we have taken action against everybody, but those who are initiating this violence and initiating this trouble have to be brought to book and they will not be spared.
Okay.
Secondly, this is land of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, and Aurangzeb will not be glorified.
Mr. Bamla, I want to quote to you. Sanjay, I'm just coming to you. I want to quote to you, since you are from the Bharatiya Janata Party, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, just a few days back, in fact, last week itself, said that there were communities that came here from other places. We fought them then. Now they are gone. Outsiders have left. Now anyone who is left, now everyone is an insider. The RSS chief also goes on to say, everyone here is part of us. If there is any difference in their thinking, talk to them. India's unity is paramount. By trying to have a lynch mob decide who is right, who is wrong, Aurangzeb, Tipu Sultan in 2023, isn't the BJP government also going completely against what Mohan Bhagwat is saying at this moment, sir?
No, I think he absolutely has welcomed the move of people across communities, which the Honorable Prime Minister has said कि हमको ऐसे अक़लियत के लोग चाहिए जिनके एक हाथ में कुरान हो, एक हाथ में कंप्यूटर हो. तो वो क्योंकि सबका साथ, सबका विकास is abdicated on those lines. Now, coming back to issues
वो तो ये भी कह रहे हैं कि अगर कुछ डिफरेंसेस हैं तो बातचीत से सुलझने चाहिए. वायलेंस जो कोल्हापुर में हुई है उस वायलेंस से तो नहीं सुलझ सकते.
इस किस्म के दंगल जो है, ये लोग जो है, इनके पीछे क्या चित्र है, इनके पीछे कौन जहन है और किसकी जहनियत काम कर रही है, ये एक इश्यू है जो अभी आप बोलोगे तो मेरे लिए संभव नहीं, क्योंकि आदरणीय देवेंद्र जी ने खुद प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के माध्यम से कहा कि वी आर इन्वेस्टिंग द मैटर. बट एज वी राइटली सेड, Aurangzeb was considered a Zulmi Raja. He was a leader who tried to attempt to kill Shivaji Maharaj a couple of times. So all Maharashtrians, be across Hindus or Muslims, at least Muslims and Hindus who are all nationalists, and I'm sure all those who are left, like you mentioned, Mohan Bhagwat ji saying that all those who are left are not wrong, but gumrah karne wale bahut log ab uska kya karoge aap?
Sir, but I'm sure Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj would also appreciate law and order and governments running not by mob mentality but by law and order. Is it? Don't you think so that any kind of violence should be the first thing that should be condemned completely before going into or attributing reasons to it?
Ankit, that is what is being researched. That's what's being investigated. That who are the people who are behind this, encouraging these innocent people to be a party to spoil the law and order situation, so that the progress of the state, which is very successfully going, ये देखा नहीं जाता है, ये हजम नहीं कर पा सकती है आपके जो पार्टी जो सत्ता से बाहर की गई है, जो बाहर हुई है किसी कारणवश अपनी कमियों के कारण, वो इस बात को हजम नहीं कर सकते कि
संजय गुप्ता जी आप बाहर हुए हैं, वो बोल रहे हैं that you've been thrown out of the government, सत्ता से बाहर हुए हैं. It's not that elections took place and then people decided that they don't want your government. We know those circumstances, but Sanjay Gupta, he's pointing a finger at you that it's people, those who are out of the government right now, those who are possibly fanning this kind of violence and this kind of acrimony. Hold on, sir. Let him answer. Let him answer. You've spoken about the previous government. Let him speak.
सरकार से बाहर हुए नहीं हुए इसको छोड़ देते हैं, इस पे चर्चा बाद में करेंगे. आप मुझे ये बताइए, एक तरफ तो आप पोस्टर के लहराने पर ऑब्जेक्शन कर रहे हैं, दूसरी तरफ आप उन्हीं के मुगल आक्रांताओं के नाम पर दिल्ली में और ना जाने कितनी जगह पे उनके नाम की लेन बनी हुई है, उनको क्यों नहीं एक नोटिफिकेशन जारी क्यों नहीं करते आप केंद्र सरकार से कि इस तरह के नाम हमारे देश के अंदर नहीं रहेंगे? आप यहाँ बैठ करके बातें बनाते हैं, सिर्फ आप किस लिए मजा रहे हैं उनकी हमारे यहाँ पर?
Mr. Mamla, Mr. Gupta, let me request you one thing and let me remind you, this is NDTV. We don't indulge in this kind of a discussion. Mr. Bamla, I asked you a question, you answered. Now let the other panelists speak, sir. I don't want to convert this into a tutu meme. That's not what we do.
I would like to answer this.
Hold on. Okay, Mr. Bamla, don't force me to put your audio down, sir. I don't like doing this. You know how respectfully we try to conduct the debate. Let's stick to that. Mr. Gupta, complete your point very quickly. I have to go to my other guest.
मैं यही कहना चाहता हूं कि एक तरफ तो पोस्टर लहराने पर ही ऑब्जेक्शन किया जा रहा है, दूसरी तरफ औरंगजेब लेन तक हमारे देश के अंदर बनी हुई है ऑफिशियल तौर पर, और ऐसे ना जाने कितने मुगल आक्रांता है जिनके नाम पर हमारे देश के अंदर मजारे भी हैं और रोड भी हैं. आप क्यों नहीं एक नोटिफिकेशन जारी करते? केंद्र सरकार में किस लिए लाया गया था आपको? किस लिए बाला साहब ने 30 साल सत्ता के साथ समझौता किया था कि केंद्र के अंदर एक दिन आपकी लोकसभा में और राज्यसभा में बदलने के लिए, और आप ये सब
संजय झा, is this what it's come down to? I mean, ultimately it will just be about naam badal do sadak ka, and that's what the government's ultimate job should be. Isn't this symbolism very dangerous? Are we not just leading towards more such flare-ups by even giving it cover fire or fanning, or in fact giving it some sort of legitimacy by saying let's just change the names, forget our history, everybody before this was evil?
Ankit, let me tell you here how all these political parties, especially the Shinde faction as well as the BJP, is lying to the people of India. They clearly don't know the history. Chhatrapati Shivaji's name is being exploited only for politics. Chhatrapati Shivaji was such a great warrior, Ankit, that he had several Muslims who were part of his commanding army. I mean, that is the kind of a secular person Chhatrapati Shivaji was. And look at the way these people, for their crude politics, are making him appear as if he was, some kind of a religious extremist, which is completely wrong. He was a secular leader. Hold on. Will you stop interrupting me, please, gentlemen?
Hold on, Mr. Hegde, I'm coming to you. I'll come to you next. Hold on.
Yeah. And the second point, let's look at another towering BJP Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Why is it that during his time, and by the way, I think he was 1,000 times better than Narendra Modi can ever be in his entire lifetime. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's time, did the BJP change the name of Aurangzeb Road or Shah Jahan Road or Akbar Road? No. Because that is the difference between a polarizing leader and somebody else who understood that India needed to be respecting its diversity.
Okay. Krishna Hegde, you wanted to come in, respond to what Sanjay Jha is saying.
Ankit, I take a great offense to what Sanjay Jha has said. He said that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is a extremist, and we are saying that
He
this is
didn't say that,
untrue.
sir. Let me
No, no,
correct
he
you.
said
He didn't
we are
say
saying
that.
that.
He said
we are
he's
saying
being
that.
projected
He
as
said-
while
he said we are
when you
saying
pitch him
that.
completely against, he's
No,
being projected as
and I
by
take great
you.
offense
He's
to
being
that.
used as.
He's putting his own words in his own mouth. Me and the BJP
Mr. Hegde,
spokesperson,
you're a
Mr.
liar.
Bamla, has not said that. We have not said anything. You are a liar. Please have some decorum on
It's
television.
on
Don't call
record, my
names
dear
in this.
friend. You can't bluff it.
No.
Go on, completely,
Let's
quickly
not
complete your
call
point.
each other names here because it's not the right decorum. You are a respected person, Mr. Jha. You should not stoop to this level. Secondly, we have not said anything of this kind. Let me tell you what we are talking about here is what is happening on the big days of the Hindus and who is fomenting trouble. And why they are fomenting trouble, whether there is a pattern and a design to that. And it has been proved time and again that someone is trying to create issues and riots during these days, and these people have to be booked. Obviously, the law will take
Then
its own
what are we
course.
waiting for? That I don't understand that. When
Obviously-
political parties, those who have the power, those who have the license to in fact book
Exactly.
such people, investigate. If they
No,
come and say
no, we are
they
doing-
should be booked,
But
I don't
time and
understand
again-
who else will
No,
do
no,
it. I am
time-
completely
no,
out of
I-
time, gentlemen.
no,
Thank you
time
so
and
much.
again,
Thank you
same
for
thing
joining me
happening.
on the broadcast.
Thank you.
That's the important thing. Everybody keeps talking about that we have unearthed a design, we see our design. If you see a design, then what is your mechanism to stop this? Why don't you put the ringleaders behind bar? Or these are just mere excuses because this is a very handy political tool. Nobody questions your work if you are able to hide behind such issues. Think about it. That's all the time that we have in this edition of Breaking News. News and updates continue on NDTV. Thank you so much. Good night.